Have you ever really looked at a plastic bottle? It's something we see every single day. We grab one from the fridge, take a sip, and then toss it without a second thought. But have you ever wondered about its journey? Where does it come from? And more importantly, where does it go? The story of this simple object is far more complex and has a much bigger impact on our world than you might imagine. Let's follow the life of a plastic bottle, from its creation to its final destination, and uncover the hidden story behind it. Our bottle's journey begins deep within the earth. It starts as crude oil, a fossil fuel formed over millions of years. This oil is extracted, refined, and then processed in massive chemical plants. Through a process called polymerization, tiny molecules are linked together to create long chains, forming a material we know as PET, or polyethylene terephthalate. This raw plastic, in the form of small pellets, is then shipped to a bottling plant. Here, the pellets are melted, molded into a preform, which looks like a small, thick test tube, and then heated and inflated into the familiar shape of a bottle. It's a marvel of modern manufacturing, a process that can produce thousands of bottles every single hour, ready to be filled, capped, and labeled. Now, our brand new bottle is ready for the world. It's filled with water, juice, or soda, and shipped to a store near you. Someone like you or me buys it, enjoys the drink inside, and just like that, its primary purpose is fulfilled in a matter of minutes or hours. And this is where the story takes a critical turn. The bottle is now empty. What happens next? For many, it's a simple toss into the nearest bin. But that bin is just the first stop on a much longer, uncertain journey. It is a moment of decision that will determine whether our bottle becomes a valuable resource or a persistent piece of pollution. Once discarded, our bottle joins millions of others on a new adventure. If it's thrown into a general waste bin, it gets picked up by a garbage truck and hauled to a massive landfill. There, it's buried under layers of other trash, where it will sit for centuries. Plastic doesn't biodegrade like a banana peel. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, a process that can take up to 500 years. Even worse, if the bottle is littered, it can be swept by wind and rain into storm drains, rivers, and eventually, the ocean. Once at sea, it joins gigantic floating garbage patches, becoming a permanent part of the marine landscape, a plastic ghost haunting our planet's most vital ecosystem. The consequences are staggering. In our oceans, plastic bottles and other debris harm marine life. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, and seabirds feed plastic fragments to their chicks. These plastics break down into microplastics, tiny particles that are consumed by fish and other sea creatures, working their way up the food chain that we are a part of. On land, plastic-choked landfills can leach harmful chemicals into the soil and groundwater, contaminating the very resources we depend on. This isn't just an environmental issue, it's a health issue. The bottle we use for a few minutes becomes a problem that lasts for generations, a visible reminder of our throwaway culture. But wait, this doesn't have to be the end of the story. There's another path our bottle can take, the path of recycling. If we toss it into the correct recycling bin, it's taken to a sorting facility. There, it's separated from other materials, cleaned, and shredded into small flakes. These flakes are then melted down and transformed back into raw material, ready to be given a second life. This recycled plastic can be used to make a huge range of new products. More bottles, polyester fiber for clothing and carpets, packaging materials, or even park benches and playground equipment. Recycling not only saves our bottle from the landfill or the ocean, but it also reduces the need to extract more oil, saving energy and cutting down on greenhouse gas emissions. The journey of one plastic bottle shows us the power of a single choice. Its story can end in a landfill, buried for centuries, or in the ocean, harming wildlife. Or it can begin a new life as something useful. The choice is ours. We can reduce the number of single-use plastics we consume in the first place. Reuse containers whenever possible and always recycle. By making these conscious decisions every day, we can change the ending of this story for millions of bottles and help build a cleaner, healthier planet for everyone. Let's make sure that our legacy isn't one of waste, but one of responsibility and care. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that matters.